Before I get into my movement over to Charter Oak, the restaurant on Meadowood did burn down. And it burned down not too long ago. And it was sad. It's sad still to this day, It feels like you put all your hard work into something and it burned down to the ground and no one can see the work you put in, and the work that I put in was not physical, it was physical obviously, but it's like I didn't write a book, you know what I'm saying? There's nothing physical there that says I was there, but the imaginary blood, sweat, and tears on the walls are there, and everybody that worked there feels that. And it burned down, and I was sad. I gave myself time to grieve about it, because you can't be sad forever. But I definitely gave myself some time, because this was big, and this is a place where I spent a lot of time at. I spent a lot of after hours time at, because that's what we did at the restaurant on Meadowood. We would wait till the sous chefs left, right? Because you had to be at lineup at night at a certain time. It's like if they said, "Hey, we're done breaking down by 11:30," you're done by 11:30. So everybody's lined up, whatever. They go over the next day's itinerary, and then you basically go home. So we would wait in our cars, and then once the sous chefs left, we'd go back in there and prep, because that's what you had to do to survive, and that's what it took, and you did it. And I loved doing it, going the extra mile to make sure. I remember there was nights I would go home, watch wrestling for 2 hours, eat junk food, complete disregard for my body, and about to lay in bed, and then say, "Oh shit, I forgot to rearrange my tool tray." So I would do the mad dash, get in the car, drive the 30 minutes from Napa to St. Helena, go to the Meadowood, and fix my tray. And that's how much respect I had for that place. That's how much respect I know cooks out there have for shit that people take for granted or don't even know that this person takes that much care of it. And this spreads to more than cooking. There's just people out there that care. And those are the people that we need to nurture and push on. Maybe that's what COVID's all about. It's here to remove all the shit-ass people that are here and let all the good ones excel. I got a little dark right there. But that's okay. So I'm Meat Station. I make it to sous chef. Okay, I'm sous chef now at this restaurant. And there's definitely a growth in sous chefs that happens. First of all, you're working with everybody, right? Now you're their boss. So that's a dynamic. That's always hard to see. And once you're their boss, the relationship starts to change a little bit. Not at first. At first, they're happy for you. Right? At first, they're, hey, good job, man. Hey, you're the sous chef now. Hey, great, brother. Hey, love that. But what they don't realize is now they got to do what you say. Right? Not necessarily, though. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that they got to listen to what you say word for word, But you're upholding the standard of the restaurant. You're making sure that they're doing the things that they're supposed to do, right? I feel like nowadays, and maybe this is because of my kindness, it was seen as, it wasn't respected when I would come up to somebody and be like, hey man, why is this like this, And it caused me to get angry, And once I got angry, I would blow up. And once I blew up, it would be like, they'd respect me less. And I'd be like, well, why is this happening, And then all of a sudden I realized, I have to, learn how to deal with people. I can't just get crazy. I'm no one. Let's start with that. Cut the ego out of it. You are no one. Right? You're not worthless. You're just worth. That's it. Not worth more, not worth less. Just good enough. It's a strange fucking thing. So moving on. Partly because I forgot what I was talking about. But anyways. So I'm working through becoming a leader in this kitchen. And finally I instead of trying to be nice to everybody, I'm blowing up. After I blow up, I calm down. And that's when you even out, that's when you sort of get everybody back. Everybody starts to be like, oh, okay, dude, I'll listen to you, I respect you, And the one of the best things that ever happened to me as a leader, as a sous chef, was one kid came up to me and he was like, this is Daniel Kim. Shout out to Daniel Kim. He's got a pop-up right now with Michael Izzard. Michael Izzard, shout out to you. You texted me one day and then didn't text me. I'm about to call you on this fucking podcast. You text me one day, I said what up, and then you never text me again. Alright? So if if anybody out here knows Mike Izzard, tell him to hit me up. Stop being a bitch. Alright? So shout out to him, but he Daniel Kim came up to me and said, I'm sorry for every time, and this was when he was becoming a sous chef and kind of was feeling the same struggle that I was, and he goes, I'm sorry for every time that I was rude to you or disrespected you. I see where you're coming from now. I love you and I respect you and thank you, basically. And that moment to me was amazing. And I use it as an example all the time. I tell it to everybody because it is true. You never know what a job is until you do it. So if you're going to be the boss to somebody, if you're going to be somebody's leader, you better know what the fucking struggle is firsthand before you give somebody the reins to run your shit. Because then it doesn't become sort of like just do that. With no sort of thought into how it's going to go or how it's going to work, So I'm growing as a person, at this point. I'm getting out of a relationship that I had for a long time, and the sort of when you think of the person that you're with is going to be the person that you marry, and that's when that doesn't happen and you realize that it's the wrong person and it's not for you, it's crazy, It's like the woman that taught me how to put on pants, for my whole life I was wearing pajamas. Jesus Christ. I wasn't dressing to impress anybody. And she was the first person that was like, look, bitch, you don't look good. You look like shit. Okay? Your shirt is stained. There's chocolate Haagen-Dazs stains all over your shirt. You look like your shit on your shirt. And she bought me pants. She's like, get out of those fucking pajamas and be respectful. And it's sad to say that, that I need to put on certain articles of clothing as a man to be respected. But it's true. Because now I see myself judging people. You know, today I was at the post office, saw a man wearing slippers at the post office, and I was like, no. Or when you see dudes wearing sandals with jeans, no socks. Sandals with no socks and jeans. And it's like, what the fuck is going on? Even if he had socks on, it wouldn't be right. That's not what I'm saying. Okay? I can hear the outrage now. Now I'm going on rants about... This is going to become a long podcast. I don't care. You know, because this is my fucking podcast. Sucio Talk, featuring David Sucio, Richard Guilloty Rodriguez of Mayagüez, Puerto Rico. Here we go. You know what I'm saying? My dad actually put together some tunes for this podcast. And we might as well use them now. I mean, this was a lot of the rock and roll that I was listening to in high school. I was riding in this convertible cop car, and it was a 1964 Chevrolet Impala, and it had Hydro Cop across the side, really big, you know. And Chris Ferry's dad would fucking play this shit loud as fuck. And it was always awesome to be in that car. And I remember we would bounce with the hydraulics and shit. I mean, this was an awesome car. Cop car with hydraulics, named Hydro Cop, sprayed across the side. Driving across motherfucking ice cream stores, bouncing and shit. Everybody looking. Crazy. Crazy shit. He's going to be proud of me because I used that mix. So that was for you, Dad. You know, thank you for the mix. It was great. Yeah. So all my mixes for the podcast are done by my dad, who is named David as well. Grew up in Puerto Rico and Chicago. Maybe someday I'll do a podcast with him. He's a very wise man who writes poems. Some of his poems are published. I don't know where, so don't ask me. They were in the 70s, I think. So, it was a long time ago now. But when I have him on, we'll ask him about that. And talk a little bit more about what the fuck he's doing. But back to what the fuck we were talking about. The life and times and career of Sucio. David. So, and... the Charter Oak at this point is starting to open, right? So I'm sous chef at the restaurant. Chef Kat at this point has kind of moved into this role where she is researching and developing this new restaurant called the Charter Oak. And that's all we fucking know. We don't know anything. And 3 months later down the road, we get a tour of the place, and it's amazing. And it's this just, broken down fucking historic building that's being rebuilt, and we have no idea what it's going to look like or what's going to happen, but all we know is that Chef Costa is fucking excited about this place, and so is Chef Kat, and they're pumped on it. She's making all the food, and it's great. And she R&D'd that fucking restaurant for like 2 years, or 1 year, and then they went on this tour that was for a long time, and they killed it on that. And during that time, I ran the restaurant at Meadowood with Chef Johnny, or Chef Johnny ran it with me, and, he was the CDC. We were sous chefs. It was me, Jacqueline, Carl Alexander at the time, Daniel Kim later on. But it was a good time, and I learned a lot from Chef John. He taught me how to be, sort of Yoda about things. Be calm, cool, collected, make decisions not based on emotion, which is something that I did a lot, which is different than making decisions with your heart, which I don't know if that makes sense or not, but I think just based on emotion alone with no heart is not really very smart. That's when you get into trouble.